All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are coming live from our Joburg office. Good morning and welcome back to the opening bell with myself, Tshepo and Ashley. And this is brought to you by TD Markets and TD Markets Academy every Mondays to Fridays at 9, streaming live on YouTube. It's a Friday. We are wrapping up the week. It's been a very, very busy week. So this morning we are looking at the US oil. We are looking at gold, as well as US 30. Now these are going to be updates. All right, so before we get started with the charts, just a bit of obviously fundamentals updates from our side. The Middle East tension or war is still the focal point, right? Still the center of everything here. So what's been happening of late is that obviously the conflict, like I said, the conflict between the US and Iran remains active. However, it appears to be moving towards a fragile phase after months of military action, of course, right? So fighting has intensified around the US, or rather the Strait of Hormuz, with US airstrikes, naval operations, sanctions, and all of that, right? So what's happening right now is that things are moving towards a fragile phase at the moment, right? So recent developments are the US has launched a new strike near Bandar Abbas this week, while maintaining pressure on Iranian military, right, as well as oil infrastructure. Washington and Tehran are reportedly negotiating an extended ceasefire, right, and possible reopening of nuclear talks, right? So the Washington and Tehran are negotiating a possible extension of the ceasefire, right? The Strait of Hormuz remains the center, or the central flashpoint, because of its importance to the global energy supply, right? So that we know. And then also political divisions, right, inside the US are growing. Now this is something very, very interesting, and I think it's something we were anticipating at some point, right? So to be a political division inside the US, so that is growing, with some Republicans criticizing any negotiated settlement with Iran as too soft, right? So there's been criticism around how the US has been negotiating or locked in negotiations. They say the US has been too soft on the negotiations, right? So this is basically the recent updates. Now looking at the charts here, guys, very interesting what happened this week. So this week both oil and gold has been dropping, right? This week both oil and gold has been dropping. Of course, we can see that gold at the moment, it rebounded from this low here. All right, I remember on one of the trading rooms that we had with you guys, I remember I told you guys that gold is going to end up breaking this support, right? It's going to end up breaking this support, and then when it does that, we're anticipating it to reach this low. From there on, a push towards the upside. There's a trading room. I want you guys to go back and verify that trading room. All right, we spoke about this possibility. Now what we see right now is exactly happened. Price broke, came back to this low. Now look at how it's been pushing towards the upside. So at the same time, the oil as well has been pushing down as well. So it has been interesting this week. So starting with oil, now look at where oil is. Oil has come back down to this low, right? It has come back down to this low. We do have a gap. The market gapped a couple of weeks ago, last week around this area. So the rule of thumb is that we could come back and close this gap. Right, so we could see oil attempting to close this gap. Already it is low according to the structure, but we could still see it attempting to close this gap. We also have another gap here, right? So we'll see which one closes the first. But this price action at the moment, for me personally, is not the best price action. I think I'm gonna wait for it to develop a little bit, right? I'm gonna wait for the daily candlestick to close to see actually what we could anticipate next week. Yeah, so for me personally, this is not the best price action, right? You look at gold. Now gold, we could see gold obviously it has rebounded from the support of the channel, and already it has pushed a couple of points towards the upside. We could easily see gold pushing back to 4,580. Right, that area 4,580. This is the possibility we are looking for. This is the possibility we are looking for. So at least gold, the price action, at least it is a lot more smoother and simpler, right? So yeah, so this is how gold is looking. We're anticipating a bit of upside. US oil, I'm gonna hold on to this one for next year. I'm not really gonna speculate what could happen here and make my prediction, my forecast, but it's important to take note where price is coming from, where it is right now, and it is not the best at the moment. So I think we need to wait for it to develop more price action. So the last one here is going to be US 30. US 30 also, we spoke about US 30 going back to that high. It has gone back to that high. So here we have a retest of the structure. So US 30 is still bullish. We're anticipating a higher low. We're waiting for the higher low. This could be the higher low. If not, the market could try to come back down one more time before it goes up. So yeah, so a bit of we are still bullish, but there's a possibility that the market will try and come back down one more time just to finish this correction before it goes up. So we're waiting for the higher low for us to take this towards the upside. All right, so ladies and gentlemen, Friday morning, that is the opening bell Friday morning. Let's see what's going to happen next week. It has been a busy week. We have not had any sessions this week, guys, due to the FMAS that took place this week, but we are back to business now, right? So let's see what's going to happen this week. So this is the analysis for you guys just to finish off the week, and then we will come back next week, Monday, proper back to regular programming, and yeah, we'll take it from there. So for now, have a good one. Enjoy the rest of your day. We'll catch you guys on the opening bell on Monday. Cheers.